Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Astro Forecast, where we look at the intuitive movements, intuitive channeling from my side, movements, feelings that we might get coming through, movements of the moon, movements of the planets, any big shifts, themes that we might feel. And then we do your elemental intuitive read and themes for inner guidance, inner healing, spiritual work for the week. And sometimes it goes on beyond the week, so we'll see how that is. Usually if it goes on beyond the week, I do let you know, and you'll know via the posting of the elementals again. So how did you find last week? It was post the full moon in Sag, and now we're running up to the new moon in Gemini. And we also have, if you haven't checked yesterday's post, on 11th and 12th of June. Now, when I do astro updates, they're not only that the planets will shift that day, and so if you see it on the 13th, it's no longer applicable, because often what I explain or what I cover is larger transits. So for example, in that I mentioned Pluto go back into Capricorn, which is from 11th of June until the end of the year. So if you're new to the channel, I'm just explaining that so that you know, if you see the weekly astrology later than, let's say, the 13th when it's up, and you see it around the 18th or the day that it's, towards the end of its time, it's still applicable, especially your elemental intuitive reads, because we're all on different journeys. And on top of that, you might find some of the spiritual elemental healing themes that I put up every week in the weekly astro, and then separately are timeless. So you could revisit these at any point in time and still find them applicable for you. They don't just expire within the month or the week that they're put up in. Again, different journeys, it's an intuitive read. So in that covering 11th, 12th, I mentioned about Pluto going into Capricorn, and I also mentioned about Mercury trining Pluto before it moves into Gemini today, Monday. So some of you will see this on Monday the 12th, some of you will see it on the 13th, and the energy is still the same, right? So although I discussed Sunday and Monday, the movement I discussed can be felt ongoing. So I'm just going to touch again on Monday. Monday, Aries moon trines Mars and sextile the Sun. In the short video I also mentioned about Mercury trining Pluto, and then it moves into Gemini, which is great actually, Mercury in Gemini. So Monday, you're going to be helped to kind of have the energy to get things done. Maybe you might want to initiate projects and push forward your agenda. Now, some people don't like to initiate stuff when it's a waning moon, which is totally understandable. But if you're feeling called to initiate and you have the right energy in place, Aries is helping you do that. So I wouldn't worry too much, because that could be a question out there that some of you have. Now, last week I also discussed Venus in Leo, and Leo is really about giving, receiving, in adoration, in extravagance, gifts, expression, not at a moderate monotone level. Beyond that, that's the Leo. And if you are not receiving it as the person giving it to you is expecting, or if you're giving something extravagant to the person and your reaction, their reaction is not what you expected or as good as you expected, this could trigger inner child. It could trigger it could trigger you or them in some way. So don't just take note of it. Don't react to it. And this is why I'm bringing up Venus and Leo again. And Venus and Leo will actually go retrograde as well. And that's why you see some astrologists, or most of them, will be covering Venus in Leo a retrograde, and will tell you based on your rising mainly how that could be impacting you. It would just be basically looking at where Leo is in your chart, and just wherever it sits, whatever house is impacted, is basically there's a slowdown, a revision, a review, maybe a bit of backwards that could happen during that time. So just if that, in terms of your expression of love or receiving or giving love, if like anything that I mentioned, like a grand gesture is not received in the manner that we or the person expects, it could cause a trigger. Don't act on what trigger you receive or see or do. It's really just observe. And if it's you that's getting triggered, what is your inner child saying? Or what is this trigger saying to you? There's going to be big feelings throughout Venus and Leo. And it's going to be about big, just really big feelings, current connections, make yourself feel good. If you like to wear bright colors and be out there, this is a great time to do it, because also it's going to be very receptive, especially for those of us that are like that, or those of us that have Leo in their chart somewhere, because you're going to really like it. How are you making yourself feel good? How are you creating a safe space for yourself, a safe, loving space for others? And also there's going to be some self-work work during this time, especially with triggers and inner child work. Remember, people want to be seen. So they will receive love the way they feel seen. And if they don't feel seen, or think they feel seen from the way you're giving the love or receiving the love, so roles can be turned, yeah? It might hurt them, and that's where it's a trigger. But it's not because you're hurting them or they're hurting you. Like I said, it's deeper than that. There's going to be a lot of unconditional love, versus when Venus was in Cancer, it was about nurture and security and divine motherly sort of nurturing and feminine and really softer. This could trigger insecurities, but there's a lot of excitement. Heart on the sleeve, big expression, big feelings, not playing it small, sharing the magic of love for yourself and with others. So that's Venus and Leo. I'm touching base on it again just to remind you that's the energy, and that's why it's really good to revisit previous weeks or weeks when I mention them, because you might want to get what the feel is that's getting carried through. So for example, this week is probably going to be relevant. And that short video I did for the 11th and 12th might be relevant ongoing. I was going to do a video in terms of Pluto and Capricorn, what it means for your signs in short term. I might do that, but I also don't want, if you're interested in me doing that, comment in the comment box below and I'll make it very short and straightforward, where basically it'd be 30 seconds each sign, just to give you a heads up. Now, on Tuesday, the moon squares Pluto in Capricorn, and then the moon will shift into Taurus in the afternoon. Now, this could be your Wednesday or it could be Tuesday, because if you're in the Middle East, if you're in Asia, if you're in Australia, you're ahead. And if you're in the US, you tend to be behind those countries. Central time, which I usually quote, and GMT time is sort of the mid time. So really Tuesday and Wednesday, you could feel that obstacles are beyond your control. Treat yourself to something and do something enjoyable to ease that. So Monday was more of like a nice going week. And I would say this week, be nice to yourself, all right? I mentioned last week that I was touching base on a bit of fatigue, or it could be from the moon or what we're feeling. And this week you might feel that because of Saturn retrograde in Pisces, which I will come onto in a moment. Now, we are heading into retrogrades, and I mentioned last week and the week before about July having 3 squares, and we kick into retrogrades even more, and then August, and then we've got a final retrograde, I believe, in September. So, you know, we've got retrograde Pluto in Capricorn, and then we've got Venus retrograde in Leo July until October. We've got Saturn retrograde in Pisces from the 17th of June, which I'm covering this in this week's Astro. Then we've got Neptune retrograde in Pisces on the 30th of June, and Chiron retrograde in Aries July, Mercury retrograde in Virgo August, Uranus retrograde in Taurus August, Jupiter retrograde in Taurus September. So you can see we're heading up to retrograde season again. So how have you found it, this period of being out of retrogrades? Do you recall when we were in retrogrades a couple of months ago, Mercury and so forth? How did you actually find Mercury retrograde? Because Mercury retrograde was the last one, and the post shadow ended the end of May, so not long ago. How was it during just the end, 21st of April until the 14th of May was when it was in retrograde. The post was from the 14th to the end of May, but then we also had the fixed Grand Cross. But did you have any tech falling apart, any communication? I definitely felt tension. I found some trouble with some tech, online stuff. I'm just going to have to take a sip because I find that I sit here and do this for like 2 hours trying to go forward, and I think I channel fast and talk quite fast. So let me know how your retrogrades were. Now, Mercury in Gemini, as I mentioned in Monday's clip, the 11th, it means that answers to your situations you're going to get answers and solutions to your situations, okay? And this is going to really help your thought process. And also, if you've been feeling stuck, ideas are going to be coming to you. It might not be the best time to action them, but really take note of the ideas and the thoughts that come through to bring clarity for you. Communication should be flawless and moving swiftly and smoothly for us, and meaningful for this time if we are communicating with loved ones. Now, it's really about the ideas, thoughts of the visions that might come through to you about your plans, about your life, about your journey. What I'm really feeling with this is kind of like Sag and Pisces, mutable signs. So we've got Sag, who's a big picture, Pisces, who's like looks at the vision. You know, Pisces likes to be in kind of like a dream state, has the vision. Then Gemini has the ideas, Mercury in Gemini, the ideas, the thoughts, etc. Virgo takes that, puts it into a very detailed, analytic, forward plan to move forward. So that's what I'm really getting with that. But the reason I mention this, because we'll stop at Gemini here on that process, and come August time, that's when we can take the action. We need to be careful of the retrogrades at that time, which we'll discuss, but I'm not a big someone to say, okay, now we are not going to do anything, don't sign any contracts, you've been jobless for a year, don't sign any contracts because it's in retrograde. I think there needs to be some sensibility on what is delivered in terms of astrology sometimes. And maybe I'm going to get shot down for this, but I believe in it. And I've been there, and I also believe in, really, you need to know that if you sign something, there are precautions to take. And if you can't wait to take it at the right time in terms of planet movements, just do those precautions. But don't put yourself in an emergency situation where you have to wait for like a few months to then see if something comes back round and visits you. And you're like in a very financial, tricky situation. It doesn't make sense. We just have to be precautionary in terms of that. So this week, especially midweek, it's probably not going to be the best day to get things done. Tuesday especially, and then also kind of the weekend might be, not because we don't want to get things done, but we're going to feel like we want to do more socializing and mini vacation. Then Saturn is retrograde in Pisces, so might not be the best week to get things done or put in action. Like I said, it's probably the best to get clarity of your ideas. Look, thinking Mercury and Gemini, ideas, inspirations. Don't get caught up in your head though, because Mercury and Gemini, and don't get frazzled running around in circles of all the things that you need to do, because they're all in your head as well. Watch that energy, okay? So midweek, Mercury squares Saturn. So we are talking about midweek, we are talking around 14th, all right, 14th and 15th, all right. And I believe on the 14th and 15th, the moon is heading by the 15th, I believe, into Taurus. So Mercury square Saturn means that you might struggle in your communication with others and important conversations. Focus on projects that require focus and discipline, which Saturn will help you with. The struggle of communication and possibly, like I said, overthinking and avoiding important discussions is because of Mercury and then Saturn. So really, Wednesday and Thursday is a great day to put your head down, to work quietly, avoid communicating on important stuff, and avoid being in your head too much. Come the weekend, before we head into the moon and what I want to discuss in terms of Saturn retrograde in Pisces, we've got Mercury sextile Venus. This could mean that you feel like I want to take a little mini vacation from the real world, socialize with your friends, make plans to go out, make plans to see friends, loved ones, and associates. The energy of Mercury sextile Venus really supports that as well. So that's why you might be feeling that way. And you will enjoy it if you do as well. Now on the 17th, which is Saturday, we've got Saturn retrograde in Pisces. And it's more or less the same evening that the new moon enters. The new moon is in Gemini. And that moon has a bit of a two-part. You might hear people calling it a void moon, and I'll dive into that. But the main theme with Saturn retrograde in Pisces and the new moon is get real about where you're heading and where you are going, all right? Because that's really what that sort of energy might be implying. Now, if you're out taking a mini vacation or socializing, you might not want to do that. You might decide to do that on the Sunday when you get back, or the Monday. The new moon is on the, I believe it's the 17th and 18th anyway, Saturday and Sunday. But before I discuss the new moon, let's just discuss this Saturn retrograde in Pisces hitting with the new moon energy as well, and in general Saturn retrograde in Pisces. The main theme is, what have you been doing with your life? You've had visions, Pisces, but Saturn is like, what have you been doing? Where's your discipline? What you've been doing? Have you done what you've needed to do? Are you going? Are you evolving? Saturn looking at the discipline, Pisces looking at within, is the inner part. You might be doing some soul searching. Some of you might be thinking of, or really reflecting on karmic lessons that you've maybe released, because Pisces is quite a karmic, carries the karmic sort of energy as well. Be aligned with your soul. What is your secret soul wanting? Are you aligned with it? And this Saturn in Pisces will end an era in 2026, an era that I believe started in 1996. So imagine how big by the end of 2026 that I think there's going to be a bit of a liberation feeling. Obviously, it doesn't mean Saturn doesn't pop up again, but it is kind of tying in an era there. And hence then we get into big summer energy of retrogrades coming through. Like I said, Pisces is quite karmic. It's about learning lessons. It's about clearing. Saturn in Pisces is clearing the contracts, re-signing new contracts on our own soul journey, supporting breaking habits and so forth. And if you look at Akashic records, or you follow, you know, shamanic energy, etc., the thought is that we come in with what we've agreed to as a soul contract on this planet to do. So that's really what that is going to be about. And obviously, if you check where Saturn and Pisces in your chart, you'll know the areas that are probably directly impacted during that time. But at the same time, you can use the Weekly Astro and my mini shorts and mini videos to really feel the themes and help you, guide you as well. Now, the new moon in Gemini, as it starts to move in Gemini, I believe on Saturday the 17th late, it's 4:37, I believe, a.m. GMT Central Time, and it's 11:37 Central US Time on a Saturday evening. So for some it starts Saturday evening, some it starts on Sunday. And what you really need to know is that the energies of Saturday, where the moon is there, it's gonna be in a void, okay? So you might not be able to feel it, but you're gonna feel some confusion because there's a clash with Neptune. And you might feel like you're overthinking everything, and the first half of it is probably not the best time for those of you that want to do your manifestation rituals, etc. Then the second half, where it's peaked, and after it peaks, there's clarity, and actually Jupiter and Saturn gives it a more harmonious feel to it, and helps elevate you from where you've been feeling bogged down, from where you felt like maybe you're stagnant across some areas in your life, stagnancy across opportunities, being stuck, worried, lack of progress. You're going to feel a bit more of a shift there, and there's going to be better envisioning after the first part of it being a void. It's going to help you also in general, this new moon is to help identify your woes and your worries. Check what's important, where you've had lack of solutions, feeling blocked, ignoring internal calls. You can ask the moon, and you can ask your spirit guides for guidance on that. So that's really the energies this week. I might do an update because I feel like there's a collective energy coming through as well. So I might do an update midweek. But I think what we'll do now is we can get into the individual signs. And I think I've got fire. Fire coming through. So when you check your signs, check your top placements, and this might be across all four elements. It might be across who you might just decide to watch one of your elements. If one doesn't resonate as much, I do think you should check the others, and also check previous spiritual healing and guidance themes that are out nearly every 10 days or week, because they are really spiritual coaching and therapy as well. And like I said, they're timeless. When it resonates, it means that's what your journey is. So let's get into the tarot for the elements. Hi there, Aries, Leo, Sag. Let's see what we've got for all fire placements guidance, please, spirit guides. Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. Growth, soulmate, despondence. You know this despondence energy, I've been feeling it, and I just want to look something up, but so there's growth here for you, and despondence, I feel, is right where you're feeling maybe immobilized or stuck and stagnant in some way. I feel like with the card you're getting intuitive hits, but you're feeling kind of helpless. It might be there's a need to balance, basically. Some of you are either underdoing or some of you are overdoing to the point where you're not allowing yourself to have joy or have fun and enjoy the journey, but also have some downtime. And some of you are feeling so helpless, and this could also be a bit of depression, but stagnant, because it came up in the weekly astrology, so I would check that out. So there is a stagnant feeling, or there's, you know, some theme of actually removing stagnancy. And I feel like some of you are needing to balance the give and receive. Now, here, keywords are changes on the horizon, take action, feeling helpless. Okay, so there's you know, there's something about accepting the situation, but also knowing that you can put the work in, but you can also have downtime. Have downtime and take action where you're not taking action. If you're taking too much action, it's time to have some downtime. You're definitely growing and evolving during this time, Aries, Leo, Sag. There's growth here. And then we've got the soulmate card. I feel some of you are actually telepathically connecting with a soulmate. This could be a soulmate who's going to enter your life from a past life. So if some of you have been single for quite some time, I feel like they're in your energetic field. And also, depending how in touch they are with themselves, they're likely to be feeling this as well. And because of the telepathic energy I'm getting, it could be a past life connection, where some of you have been single for quite some time, and this is because this is your soulmate, right? Now, some of you, this is what you want, a new love, a new soulmate to come in. Some of you, it's about your abundance, your stability, you're looking for the new. Let's see what cards we get. Messages for Aries, Leo, Sag, please. Messages for Aries. Ace of Swords, mental breakthrough, communication and breakthrough is coming through. So some of you have felt really stagnant. This is interesting because I discussed Mercury in Gemini. So in terms of communication, you're assisted with this, and it's like there's communication coming through. There's a breakthrough coming through. We've got the Fool, which is a new journey, and tying in with growth. Messages for Aries, Leo, Sag, please, for guys. Devil. Ace of Swords, the Fool, and the Devil. I feel like the Devil is tied to this energy, where some of you have felt like you're helpless, not able to release some thought patterns that have really held you back, attachments, addictions, even people that are not aligned with your new growth or where you need to go, that you don't feel like maybe you can not liaise with them, but liaise is very professional. It's the old corporate word I use. It's not aligned either. You don't feel a connection anymore where you can talk about where you're heading or what you want. And so some of you could have Capricorn energy around you as well, and that's why it's come out. But there's a breakthrough in clarity and a breakthrough in the mental thoughts. Some of you, if you've been waiting on receiving communication, this is coming through. But your mental thought process is changing. You're going to have a breakthrough because you've been... I think some of you have been overgiving, but roles can be reversed. So you need to balance giving and receiving. Have you been overgiving? You need to learn to receive. And if you've just been sat here waiting and receiving, trying to receive, but not giving, not doing the work, then you need to learn to get out there and do the work, all right? And also, if there's an element of fear of something that you're trying to focus on, this is telling you take that risk, because the fear you have is keeping you bound and chained, okay? Some of you, it's around your beliefs, like about your image, about your growth, about like, I'm too old to be looking for stability. I'm too old. I'm in such a situation. I can't have fun. I can't have 1 hour to myself, to have a bath, to have a self-care day, to go out, take myself out. I have to remain in this energy. I have to remain in isolating myself, okay? I have to remain in going at my work. Some of you, like I said, is that you've got to a stage where you really feel things have not moved forward in terms of what you want, and you're kind of like feeling a bit depressed, and you're kind of just taking a step back. So if you've put a lot of action in, it's time to receive. If you've not, it's time to action and work. If you've been receiving but not giving. You definitely are looking for Swords stability. You're looking for the stability that you've been wanting to come in. You need to not be on an emotional roller coaster here. Because what you want will come in. Ten of Swords, you really feel left out, you really feel betrayed, you really feel neglected. This could be because you've received a betrayment in the past. It could be because you've been held towards lies, addictions. Something very toxic has been in your energy. And if you've not had toxic people in your energy, some of you, it's the people around you that don't have the same vision and alignment of you. And the Ace and the Fool is saying you need to have this kind of mindset to move forward. It's not about drilling yourself to burnout. It's not about like, if I don't have fun, I'll prove that it's the right way to get it. The Ace and the Fool is about connecting new experiences, being open to them, not being closed off, trying to navigate from this kind of energy and the Devil kind of energy. Experiences, enjoy the process, enjoy your journey, connect to you, connect to your inner being. Some of you are actually frightened with the Four of Swords, growth and despondence, and the Fool, to actually be yourself. You're frightened to connect with others, yet you want it. You want it because you know you want the new start. You know, it's just that it's the process that's scaring you. And I feel like you're frightened of the vulnerabilities. This is your fears. You're frightened to be vulnerable. You're frightened to connect because of like past situations where you've been, what you've done, what has happened. Things are meant to work out for you, Aries, Leo, Sag, and you will get the security. But if you're too focused on feeling helpless or in a freeze mode, or you're too going forward, not giving yourself the enjoyment that you need, and you're being hard on yourself, then you need to release that because you're stressing out. You're stressing out of logic. And this week or the next 10 days or whenever you find this, it's timeless. It's not about the dates. It's about week, a theme. Some people, you need more than 10 days. It's about flow. It's about being vulnerable, being able to flow, releasing the stress. Open your heart to the new. Not allowing yourself to enjoy yourself or be working really hard does not necessarily bring in what you're wanting. And yes, when we're feeling vulnerable or in fear, we can protect ourselves, protect our energies. But you need to don't be over giving or over receiving, thinking that's what's going to get you moving forward. Ace of Wands. We've got the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Swords as well. Remember I said you're too much in your logic. You're too much in your logic mind, drilling forward, stressing on how it should look, the way you want it to be. Not only the way that's come out, but that's not what I wanted to say. Like, you need to drill forward because this is the plan to really get whatever you want, the stability or the love. But you're focused on it. And joy is a pleasure, is your right, and is part of the journey. Ace of Wands, major breakthrough by listening to your gut and the action you've taken. Motivated to go forward, to drive forward, because you believe this is also coming through, and the Ace of Wands is coming through for you. There's a breakthrough here. Those of you where it's around a soulmate, with the soulmate card, Knight of Wands, someone is coming forward for you. Protect your energy, but you don't have to make your past, this is where the growth is really important, make your past or your current mental thoughts hold you back from being open to what can be the breakthroughs of the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and here's the Page of Pentacles. The stability you've been wanting is coming. It's been a bit slow, but it's coming. It's not stuck anymore. You're releasing. And so really get out of your head. Don't be over giving. Don't be over receiving. And you've got enough experience to make this work. Just enjoy yourself a little bit. Take some downtime to enjoy yourself. This is about walking away. Really releasing the devil, the 10 of swords and the 4 of swords. Releasing that, getting back into balance. Breakthrough of the Ace of Wands, also listening to your gut. Flowing, learning to be a bit more vulnerable. Okay? Don't, walk away from what not serves you, but don't leave yourself isolated. So fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag, that's what I'm really getting for you this week. And if you enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe. I do advise that you check your top placement. So whether it's in water, fire, earth, air, etc., because you get a complete and accurate picture. And you can also take what resonates. Sometimes those elements, depending where we are in life, will speak to us more than other times. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're leaving us now and not checking your other elements, have a lovely day wherever you are. Bye for now. Air signs, welcome to your reading. Let's check what we've got for energy themes for the week, next 10 days. This is inner guidance, spiritual guidance. It's about intuitive read and energy healing, tying in with the energies. It's timeless. Whenever you find this, do check your sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. If you've got the chime, check all 4 elements, because there'll be something that you take away from each one, given how these readings are done. I'm really feeling a bit of a fragmented energy with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Messages for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Interesting, despondence. That's what the fire signs got, if you didn't see the fire signs. Expansion, grief. Some of you are definitely going through a healing phase. Some of you could be suffering a loss or in some grief. For some of you, this is about past hurt and heartbreak that you've not actually released and addressed. But there's growth here for you with the expansion card. Despondence tells me that you are feeling a bit hopeless. And with the grief card, it could be around the grief and loss that some of you have got or have faced. It could be you have, for some of you, I feel like you've got a clear vision of where you want to go. But there's past grief and hurt that's making you feel hopeless, making you feel like 1 minute you're able to take some action, 1 minute you're not, you're overwhelmed. There's an overwhelming feeling here. but ultimately you've got expansion. And we're going to get into the tarot, but I just want to check something with the expansion. So it says, the personal inquiry is, how can I create powerful alliances? Are new people entering my life? So for me, this is about really recognizing the universe is sending you signs and people as great counsels to help lead you go forward. Now, you might not recognize them as that, so you need to be open to it. But there's definitely, with these two cards, there's something about an uncertainty with you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. There's some sort of uncertainty that you're feeling. And I think this is where, you know, look above, there's an owl, right? He might not know there's an owl there. There's divine protection. Firstly, you've got divine protection. And there's people that are entering to help you. But I'm getting that you've got like a fragmented energy, and these cards kind of say that. But I feel like also some of you have like this to-do list that is 200 brain dumping points on it. And I think that's causing the fragmented energy. Like a very large to-do list. And is everything on this to-do list making you happy? As I thought of that, Six of Swords, no. Knight of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. Judgment. I was going to tap into this energy. So I think, right, when you get down to what you're actually looking at, this week or over the next 10 days, you're going to have a clear thought process that where you're putting your energy and your fragmented energy for some of you, you're going to have to address it. For some of you that are in loss and grief, there's a healing coming in. And there's a patience that you're going to be having with yourself. If you've not had it, there's a patience and a self-love that you're going to have for yourself. If some of you, you've definitely or will be walking away from whatever's caused you grief, if it's not a loss of like a death of something, if it's a loss of something, you're going to be healing that. And you're divinely protected. I feel like some of you need to be in flow. Before you continually try to take action into a fragmented pace, where you've got so many things in your mind or to do, you're kind of like giving your energy to little bits. And it's not getting you anywhere. And whether you're trying to come through a healing phase of, you know, some sort of hurt or loss, you're going to come and have a breakthrough. You need to address your healing. You need to look out for the signs that I feel like your intuition and guides are saying one direction. This way is going to make you happy. These 50 things are going to make you happy. Put more energy in this, but you're putting your energy on 200 different things. Or you're not refocusing from the hurt into actually having patience with yourself and having a better judgment in terms of the whole situation and scenario. And for some of you, I'm getting not blaming yourself. And so picking up and just really going forward. I feel like you're in this state of effort. I'm going to give up and not do anything. And that's where the despondence is. So my question to you is, how do you feel? You need to be in flow and observe. So you need to, not so much as effort, I'm giving up forever, but take a step back, observe how you feel, address it. It's like you're trying to find the delight in things, but you're not finding it. It's about balance. So some of you, it's about work-life balance, whether it's work, whether it's personal life. For some of you, I feel like you know, it's about your own well-being. And you're trying to take care of everything and everyone and everything on your list. And it's making you feel so overwhelmed. And that's where you're like, F it, bye. Moon. I was asking for clarity on the Knight of Pentacles, the Moon. I'm going to ask for another card for you. Sometimes Spirit wants to keep it hidden. But basically, I think this is what you're not seeing. That what you're dedicating your energy to is too much. And it's probably not getting you forward. Knight of Swords, as I say that on the bottom of the deck. Driving forward. You're overwhelmed, there's a lack of clarity, and so you're not driving forward. What is most important to you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? It's about prioritizing that. Maybe going into a bit of a hermit mode. Oh my God. So I think I'm on the right track, yeah? Going into a hermit mode, to focus on yourself so that you can get priorities clear in terms of what's important to you. Get clarity on what you're not seeing clearly because you're just driving forward. So prioritize basically. Ace of Pentacles after you do that. I think you're going to find that some things that you couldn't see clearly are not worth your investment. Now, this is very general, so place it wherever it is in your life. Relationships, work, your to-do list, your home, your family, your routine, your self-care, whatever it is, personal life. And listen to your intuition. Listen to the guides, signs, symbols that you're getting through. I think there's some ancestral karmic things here. You're releasing that. That is being released from you. Really knowing what's worth your investment, what's not worth your investment, what's going to bring you joy, what's going to bring you peace, and listen to that. Listen to your intuition when you're getting nudges to go in a direction, to take action in a direction. I feel like some of you are actually scared to take that direction. Some of you are going to be. Anxiety, bit of depression there. You're thinking overnight. What is your intuition telling you to change, to be open to have a different perspective of? Maybe it's one thing in your life, maybe it's multiple things, like I said, around your life, love, personal, work life. There's something here. And this energy is causing this, along with Current for some of you, past for some of you. But there's a breakthrough if you listen to your gut and take instinctive action in terms of what feels right for you. And you go from a knight and you become a king of pentacles. Because your energy is focused in one or the main priorities, Knight of Cups as well. You're balanced. You're taking action. You're grounded. You're in your heart space. You're balanced. Interestingly, I've put it over the Judgment card. And for me, that means there is a release of karmic thought patterns or around love. Some of you could definitely be getting married during this time with the Hierophant card, but definitely releasing patterns. There's a lot of there's a karmic energy here where you're going to have better judgment on taking decisions to drive you forward, and that's going to release you from where you've been feeling tied, where you've been feeling you're not able to expand or move in a direction you want to move to, whether it's towards a heart, whether it's to focus on love or relationships. Knight of Swords. Feeling motivated, going forward, taking fast action. Communication. I wonder for some of you if this is actually I was going to say it. Some of you, this is about a toxic relationship. Some of you, it's been about a marriage. Capricorn, you've come up. Some of you could be going through legal proceedings. You need to release that. Sometimes when we're going through these things, we ask, should we continue to drive forward on something that's not moving forward? Or should I let it go because I want to release myself? And I think that's what you need to look at. There's different messages here. I've kept it very general. Place it wherever it fits for you. But really listen to your intuition. If you've been feeling very fragmented, or any of the things I mentioned, go into hermit mode. What's interesting is that we have all your energies on the chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So your energy is very present here. I hope this helped you get some guidance. And yeah, I'd say, I think there's an element of releasing a bit of control as well. Not just totally saying fuck it, because you can't face it. But really prioritizing what's worth your energy. Take a step back, because you're going to realize what's worth investing in, and there's going to be some releasing from you as well. So I hope you enjoyed your part of the reading, Earth signs, and do like, subscribe, and I will see you either in the other elemental readings or in your next videos. Take care of yourselves if you're leaving here. Bye-bye. Hi there, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's see what we've got in terms of a healing, inner spiritual growth that might be coming up as a theme for you. If you've joined us after checking the other elements, why am I saying so often? There we go. then great. We've got one more water after this to do, and you might wish to check all 3 other elements as well, all your top placements, because it'll give you a complete and accurate picture, and you take which one actually resonates. We've always got something to grow, haven't we? Now that I've spotted the I'm not going to be able to ignore it, am I? I feel like you are in a bit of a protecting yourself mode and effort mode. See what comes out for you. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, please. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, please. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, please. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah, you kind of like quest, destiny, abundance. Okay. You're in your head a lot, because I can feel like the crown chakra standing out of these cards. So abundance, quest, and destiny. So you're destined for something great, and I think your destiny is starting to show through actually. I think you're having breakthroughs in certain areas of your life, and it's kind of showing you or pushing you on a path towards your destiny, which is similar to your quest and your journey. I do want to pull the book here while I discuss and just check. Yeah, they are very similar. So with quest, it's time to take a risk. Where in my life do I need to walk my talk? And with destiny, I felt that it's also take a risk. I felt it's to do with taking a stand. I felt it's to do with being positive, some radical thinking and commitment to your path and your destiny. And here it says, dare to have your life the way you decide. Are you willing to make sacrifices for what you decide? And here, for me, quest is like being open to wisdom, commitment to your path as well, and courage, journey, answers. And destiny is also with these two about faith. And here we've got being open to wisdom and wise knowledge. It's time to take a risk. Where in my life do I need to walk my talk? Very similar to each other. Now with abundance, I feel like this is around your solar plexus. And if you look at this, these two cards with abundance, one is a bit of action and the other is like a bit more solitary. With abundance, what I'm feeling with that is not so much about a breakthrough in money. We might get that, but I'm getting that you've got certain beliefs around what you want. And I think it's more or less what you want is starting to show up, but you're like, how can I chase it even further? Because in my past, something good just disappears or it doesn't fully come my way, if that makes sense. For me, it totally makes sense, because I like, if you've been through certain things, you always think that maybe you're not going to get what you want. or maybe it's going to go away, and you're kind of in your head chasing it, and really trying to control that aspect. So let's see what the tarot says, because I'm just going on those 3 cards. There's a mindset, there's in your head. I also feel with quest and destiny, there's a need to be patient with yourself. High Priestess, quest, destiny, High Priestess. Your intuition is off the hook right now. You're getting signs and symbols, and these is really about your path and what you're working hard on to create the change, or to try and have a breakthrough on something that you're working really hard on. 10 of Wands. I feel like some of you have not seen a change, and you really feel that you've been working hard on something or focusing on something. I mean, working hard doesn't mean it has to be within your job. It can be in any area of your life, putting your energy into it. It's been overburdensome. And the Knight of Cups is coming in to say, release that a little bit. Maybe if needed, take a step back and just have a bit more patience with yourself, because your intuition is speaking to you and good things are arriving for you. You don't have to make it like you're burning yourself out. Some of you could be quite hard on yourselves, or maybe you've had people in the past that have been quite hard on you, and so you're hard on yourself. I would say this theme for the next 10 days is simplify your life a little bit, release a bit of control. With the High Priestess, your thoughts, your intuition are speaking to you. The letters B and J could mean something to you, or could be within your name or whatever. What is your intuition and thoughts saying to you when you take away all the noise? If you have a lot of people around you, when you take all that and step alone, what is it telling you? Justice. There's a balancing out of where maybe you felt you've gone through so much hard times, or been working really hard on something and there's been no breakthrough. There's a justice, there's a balance of the scales coming in with the Knight of Cups. Libra energy here as well. You need to release the control, have some softer energy for you. Relax, take yourself in a relaxed space, like a High Priestess, like into the Priestess, the Knight of Cups. There's no need for the continuous, look, as I say that, Hanged Man. 5 of Wands. There's no need for the continuous striving forward, trying to get. It's coming to you. Release a little bit. Maybe go into your divine feminine energy, where you trust what's around you and what is your intuition saying in terms of, like, I think the universe and your intuition is telling you you're doing a great job, but you're kind of like, look, and it's nurturing your inner child. Some of this is definitely maybe to do with how, you know, in terms of when you were a younger kid, in terms of maybe how you thrived in terms of trying to get something by just working really hard or focusing on it, or being in your head about it. And the cycle is closing around that. Some of you could be traveling and visiting home, visiting your childhood neighborhood as well. And I think that's going to do you good, to release some of the control and focus on what you've been trying to get to. Your inner mind, like, I won't be surprised if something like, 7 of Wands, 7 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 2 of Swords show up. Even the 4 of Swords in a different meaning, context. Your mind is like, where the universe is trying to show you glimmers of like hope and changes, you're like, no, it's not going to be this great, it's going to be bad, or it's just going to go, or that's just a little bit of sight, but behind that, the full thing is not going to come through. You're too focused on the details of possibly your future here, and you're not enjoying the current journey, connecting to your soul and a little bit to your inner child who needs some attention, and you need to release all the chaos. Clear the chaos, have a better judgment around things is going to come through. The High Priestess and the Judgment card could mean you're actually releasing karmic patterns of family lines with that, and the World card I'm getting. So you're actually maybe changing, you may be in a generation that's actually changing the thinking, the way of life, from the way you were brought up, the way maybe you were told to work, or the way you should have your family, or the way you should be, or the way you should get success or be worthy of something, and you're breaking that. So if you have kids, they will not have that energy because you're breaking that, showing there's a different kind of side to it. If you don't have children, you're breaking that, and maybe that's difficult because it is difficult because you're kind of in this, maybe like I'm in this culture or this upbringing, but I'm also not fully fitting 100% in it. This could also be that some of you have felt like a rock that was very stable for you has shooken your life a little bit. And that's why you feel like you need to control other aspects of your life because you're frightened something else goes wrong. Don't be too focused on the future. Be in the present. Try to enjoy the journey as opposed to what you want in the future. Now, Fire got that they were being very over, Aries, Leo, Sag, being overprotected of themselves because they've been so hurt in the past, they're not opening up. And then Earth were like, F it, I'm giving up, I'm not doing anything because I've got so much to do. And you're kind of in between this, where you need to take a bit of a step back, but you're also very actioning, but you're actioning more in your thoughts. And you're focused on the future, which is causing you, for those of you that are focused on your future, is causing you some angst feeling. And I think you need to get out of that space. It could also be, with the World card, also detach from the outcome. Like I said, detach from the outcome, try to be present. This could be like, it could be your natural response to something, or it could be you, the way you're seeing people, situations, environments and things right now is a different perspective. I think I said something similar to this in one of your other readings. Queen of Swords, your energy, so being very logical, analytical, you're in your head about the future, you're planning on things about the future, you're not in a, I feel some of you might feel you're not in a safe kind of place. Although you are in terms of what you need to live, you are, but I don't think you feel 100% safe in some way. And you feel like what you want the response of what you want is, you're feeling, I feel like when you're changing the way you're going to respond to things by getting out of your head and thinking things are going to go wrong. And that's your focus this week, and coming from a heart-driven place, because this is also going to be an offering that clears your heart chakra. It could be some of you, someone comes in and really you're like, at the beginning you're like, is this person true? Are they going to just run away? Are they going to be a loss? If there's going to be a grief, blah, blah, blah. And when you really try to relax, I'm giving you an example of a person. It could be anything. It could be your belief systems around anything in your life. It could be people, situations. And with the Judgment card, the High Priestess, the World and the Justice, I think this is going to be a karmic connection. that's going to really help you get out of this space. It's going to take work, because we don't just overnight release control or negative thinking, but release your fears, release your traumas, release your worries, really connect into your heart, because you have it. You're overflowing with love, and you have the clean, and that is going to be cleared, so that you do have a cleared heart. Release all the fears, traumas and worries, and all that you're carrying that could be weighing you down. Release it. To be honest, with yourself too. Maybe asking yourself, does this resonate? Is it really true? Maybe at first you're like, this reading does not resonate, but when you think about it, maybe it does. What do you want? And don't chase it. Like, if you see a glimmer of it coming through, you might be chasing it and thinking, I'm making sure this is not going to go wrong, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes when we chase stuff and we try to control stuff, it doesn't arrive. And you need to not get into a negative controlling space with your thoughts. Some of you are healing that very much, where you're going to be connecting to your intuition. This is what's also needed if you're not. To your intuition, to divine feminine, having better judgment, knowing that this cycle, there's a cycle that you've been through that has come to an end, and you need to open this new chapter. And as you do, recognize, being in your heart space, recognize yourself for accomplishing that chapter, regardless of how it went and regardless of where the new chapter is. I was just called by Spirit, right, to look at the bottom of the deck for the new chapter. 10 of Cups. This is like a wish fulfillment. Happy home, happy family, marriage life, children, love life, partnership. You're feeling stable, you're content. Some of you, it could be adding additional to your family, better dynamics with your family, a solidified dynamic with your family. It could be with your mum, your dad, your sister, your brother, whatever it is. A stable home, a solid family dynamic, supportive people around you, something that really connects to your heart, makes you feel safe as well. It's a bit like a wish fulfillment card. With the Ace of Cups, beautiful outcome. So that's what I have for you, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I hope this helps in some way. And if it did, please do like, subscribe. I would revisit it. You can revisit it in a week's time, after a month. These readings don't expire. They're timeless. These are things that we work on that take time. Sometimes they could take the week. They could be just in awareness. Something might call you back to this reading, might call you back to last week's, to the weeks before, to the months before, whatever it is. Just really don't worry about the timeline or when it was uploaded, because these are timeless. So I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are, and I will see you in your next readings, unless you're going to join another element to see what theme comes up for you. All right, bye-bye. Hey there, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I hope you're well. So this is going to be your spiritual guidance, intuitive read and healing theme for the next 7 to 10 days. Whenever you find it, it's timeless, and you can revisit this one. You can revisit any of them that are posted with the same title, or in the weekly astrology as well. If you've checked the weekly astrology this week, you're going to be fully equipped to understand the energies and the themes and movements, along with this reading and your top placements, especially if you've tuned into all of the signs, all of the elements, to get a collective feel of what could be happening, what is in the space, but also which one resonates the most with you. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Interesting, we had this card, abundance for air signs. signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If you have those in your chart, I will check that reading out. This is not exactly the same as the other cards that came out, but this came out, okay? And forgiveness. So what I'm really feeling here is that I feel like you're owning your power again with this. And you're really connecting to your inner being, what your intuition, your spirit guides are telling you, and you're going forward. You're no longer in your head with, am I worthy or am I worthy not? I see something coming my way that seems good, but I don't know if this is going to last. I've been so hurt in the past. I can't get over it. I'm sick of this hurt. I don't want to know from anyone. You maybe there was some like grudges, but this time you're done with the grudges. You're like, I'm done. I'm done. Yes, this bloody hurt really hurt me, but I'm so done. I'm going forward, and you're connecting to your intuition as well as your gut, and you're getting out of your head that's maybe been keeping you. Forgiveness is really about forgiving those that have hurt you, you know, and it's also that wish fulfillment of things coming through for you. With the third eye on it, it's also a bit of third eye and intuition, definitely third eye and crown chakra with this. It's about releasing the wound and the hurt, like I was just saying. Instinct. Instinct. Following your instinct, awakening, solitary journey, spirit lies on the road ahead. So whatever you're being called to, really, you are being led, yeah? And I feel like you're trusting this and you are taking this action this week, all right? If not, then you need to. Some of you, the wolf totem could be your spirit animal, especially a white wolf. There's new beginnings here for you, and you need to release the wounding if you're not, but I think some of you already have. You've already done the inner work and healing, and you're stepping out like a wolf, and you are getting over the past hurts. You're looking back at them, you're like, I'm done. You're looking back at your fond memories. You are also connected with your soul, and you've done some inner child healing. You're moving on. Virgo could be heavy in your chart somewhere, or Virgo season is going to be very important for you. I don't normally pinpoint those things in these spiritual healing via the tarot card, but if I get the download, I will. Ace of Pentacles, like I said, you're claiming your victory. You're not staying stuck anymore. There's new beginnings, there's breakthrough in abundance in whatever area in life you've been trying to go after it, but maybe not from a heart space place, maybe from being hurt and unhealed. Something is really going to break through and is going in the right direction, giving you the glimmer of hope and keeping you on track to follow your instinct, to feel guided in the way you want to go. You're no longer, like I said, crying over what is no longer there, the hurt, the disappointment. You are going to be walking away from this. The Page of Wands, you know, this with the instinct card is really about, you've got the gut instincts, you've got the ideas to drive forward, and you are going to do this. And you're going in the right direction. Again, very focused on his wand and the olive particle at the top, looking at it, following it through. Star card, exactly what I said. You've done the healing. Some of you are in that healing, but you're going to drive forward. It's also a wish fulfillment with the abundance card. Wish fulfillment, the breakthrough on what you've been wanting is coming through. It's really about tapping into your inner spiritual being. If those of you that joined the group healing session or have had an individual energy healing session with me, your chakras are now in balance. If not, you have done the healing work and you're more in balance, in touch with your heart with this. And some of you may have closed yourself off at one stage, but a lot of the things that you've been through, you've decided to, that's the past, that's it, I'm healed, I'm going forward, and I'm feeling more connected to my heart. I actually feel a lot lighter. I actually feel that I'm a bit healed, and that's why I'm going to be open to running through with my instinct. I'm going to be in forgiveness. I don't have to talk or engage with whoever hurt me. I think there's also some karmic injustice here. Queen of Wands, someone who is in her glow, definitely tying in with the Wolf card, the instinct card. Divine feminine, trusting, but has the power to go after what they want, and they're going after it from a heart-centered space. Any karmic injustices, traumas, hurts that you've had, your heart is being cleared or is cleared, and you're starting to trust people and situations a little bit more now, being open to them. I wonder if some of you have just found your divine soulmate. And this is going to be very passionate, and it's going to be like power couple. You're very much in your glow. You're very much balanced between your divine masculine and feminine. The only thing is sometimes you might feel like your ideas are premature, but they're not. You have the power to go forward with your instinct. And if you do feel that, even if it's to connect with others, you are being guided and protected. Your heart is being cleared, it's renewed, and you feel like you can come out of your shell more with the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands. You know, we had the Hermit, the Star card, the healing. We had the Five of Cups, you're moving away from. And it's not to say that things didn't hurt you, but you're deciding, I'm not staying stuck. You're more confident, you're glowing, you're feeling good, you're not focused on the past. You just want to live your life and welcome the fruits that are coming in for you. Your abundance, basically, and what you've really wanted. Knight of Cups. A lot of you, it is definitely to do with a divine counter soulmate coming in for you. And this is because you're opening your heart up to people and situations more. You're not like, I'm stuck. You're not like, this is not bringing me joy or happiness, and you're staying stuck in it and sobbing over your wounds. You're actually like, it's not feeling good. It's not bringing me happiness and joy. I'm moving away. I'm choosing to walk away from what was painful. I'm in my glow up, where I had to compete with people, situations, places, with my own mind. There's a breakthrough here with the Seven of Wands. There's something with this Seven of Wands as well. I just want to see if I can pinpoint and help the channeling that wants to come through for me on this. And maybe you might go back and forth a little bit with, you know, the forgiveness and taking instinctive action at the beginning, because a wound is a wound. But because you've healed it, you won't stay in this energy too long. You're ready to just like go forward, enjoy your life, and you have the strength to take it on as well. I looked on the bottom of the deck, so I always pick it out. It's the Empress, okay? Divine feminine energy. Some of you could be very fertile at this moment in time, just as a side point. This is the Nine of Swords, the anxiety, the sleepless nights, the hurts, the wounds that you're stepping away from. I'm choosing to live my life. I'm looking good. I feel good. I'm getting out there. I'm attracting who I want. There's an open door to new beginnings. I can start seeing the glimmer of it, and you're finding that liberation. There's that liberation of releasing this and really trusting. Also, you can have Taurus and Libra energies around you. They could be people you know. It's kind of like enough is enough, and you're walking away. It could be one specific thing in your life that's caused this, that you're walking away, untying yourself from feeling like you're tied to it, feeling like you're in your head, feeling like I'm so sick of being hurt, etc. You're releasing this and you're moving forward. Judgment, you're having a better judgment call on what you need to do, enjoying the present moment and your life, and you're learning to release it all. And where you need to step back and come back to your healed self so that you're aligned with your heart, you're learning how to do that, to nurture yourself as well with the Empress and have a glow up. But yeah, it's to do with one specific thing that even hurt you, but there's a complete shift in your emotions here. There's a complete shift in terms of, do you know when we're hurt and we kind of like sit there and we're hurt, so we sit there and we're like in a negative space because we can't see the glimmer of hope. And when we see the glimmer of hope, we're like, but yeah, this is what happened in the past. But more than that, you're kind of in a I don't want to say rotten, but going off. You know when a fruit is going off and you kind of sat there like that. But if you don't move and heal, you're just going to have more resentment and anger that builds up. It spreads, doesn't it? And you're done with that. You're so done with that. You're moving away. You're like, I've worked on myself, learning to forgive, and I'm welcoming the abundance, and also getting out my mind of where I felt like a lack of worthiness for something good or good people and situations, and you're starting to trust yourself more. I think that's beautiful. I also have a spirit animal for you, which is heron. Have patience with yourself when needed. Create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Take time alone and find balance. Step confidently towards your purpose. Patience will bring you the rewards. So I think you're already stepping confidently towards your purpose. If not, that's a double message of what we said in your reading, which is beautiful. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I definitely think if this reading resonated, please do like and subscribe, support the channel, share it with other people, share any of your readings with other people. Do check the content on the channel that comes out every single day. Check the weekly astrology, different themes. Let me know what you like best. Let me know what your top placements are. And those that get the most views or votes or comments are going to have bonus readings, because obviously if you're a subscriber, that's what I'd like to give back to, but also they're the bonus content for those signs and readings. Do take care of yourself and have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. Bye for now.